It's tea time, positive tea time, and we are spilling all of it right here in this space created by two crazy fun-loving besties. It's a no judgment zone for sharing stories of hope, faith, love, growth, and most of all, grace and gratitude. So join us as we get ready to share some positivity and get a fresh perspective on life.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Spilling Positivity, brought to you by Lipton, our sponsor for the show today. And we're really happy and excited. Maria, tell them about our special guest today.
So our special guest today is Coach Mariposa. Mariposa. Yes, Mariposa, Deborah McCollin. And she's here to talk about her journey and her life and how it has now become a life of influence and encouragement and motivation for others. Deborah, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you guys for having me. Thank you for having me.
So tell us about Deborah.
Yes, who is Deborah?
Coach Mariposa.
Mariposa. Butterfly.
Well, exactly. First thing first, Mariposa means butterfly. And strangely enough, I adopted that through my uncle. He used to call me his baby butterfly. Okay. Not knowing that my life would have taken the journey of a butterfly, the different changes I've been through, and then the ability to learn and to help others as well. And I'm a teacher. I'm also a life coach. I'm a mom. I'm many things. I wear many hats, but the one I'm most proud of is being a life coach, because I started coaching because I overcame domestic abuse.
Wow.
I did not survive it. I overcame it.
I love that.
I love that.
You're not a survivor,
No.
you are a conqueror.
Exactly.
Yes.
When you overcome it, you can go there and talk to people and help others. And it's very interesting to hear people tell me it is weird to see me talking about abuse and smiling. But when you've gone to that point where you can help others, you will smile, and you will also be able to help them with their own journey as well.
To smile again,
To
too.
smile again and to live again, because there's a stigma attached to it where you're expected as a person that was abused to not live. You're supposed to probably, as far as people are concerned, hide yourself, and not live, not to do, not to dream, not to love again.
Yes,
because some people do not.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
You know, but you got to take the experience, you learn from it, and sadly, everybody doesn't get out, but there's a way out, but you have to be mentally ready in order to do that.
How did you get on this path? I mean, how did it start for you?
It started being in an abusive relationship with my very first boyfriend. So, you know, trust would have become an issue after that. And sadly, it's like you're looking for love in all the wrong places. That relationship will go sour.
What was one of the red flags that you didn't stop to look at when
Honestly,
on that first relationship?
Honestly, he cried a lot.
Okay.
He would do things and cry. He would hit me and cry. He would hit me and apologize and cry and do it all over again.
So you were very empathetic to it, because seeing a man cry, you figure,
you think he's being serious. You think he loves you. But then at the end of the day, you will tell yourself, you know what? There's enough. I had enough of this foolishness. And on the 31st of March, whatever year that was, we won't go that far back.
How old were you then?
I was 19.
Yeah.
I was 19. And that's when I decided I had enough. And that night he decided, okay, you had enough. You're going to die.
Wow.
But I didn't.
What happened? Can you talk about what happened?
Let's just say I called him. I was at work. I called him. I told him to come, take me home, and you're going to collect your stuff. It's finished. Because I had actually started studying again after school. And he came for me at work very cheerfully. He was very nice. He said, let's go on the beach and talk. I said, no problem. We went on the beach. We talked. My mind did not change. He didn't like that.
Yeah.
So he took out a nice tool from the back of the car and started using that. I was expected to die that night. I got out the car at the top of the hill. I won't say exactly where. If I say the top of the hill on the beach,
Yeah.
Bajans would know. And I saw a policeman. I told him, because, at that time, you're not feeling well. You just got beaten. And I told him, I need to throw up. I got out the car, kick off shoes, grab bag, ran straight to the police station. I was at the top of the hill at the time. And that started a really interesting process because a lot of things, he was very obsessive where I was concerned. And there are things that he would tell me, I don't want you doing this and I don't want you doing that. So after that was over, I say, you know what? I got my life. I started back dancing. I started back modeling. I started back going out with my friends. But unfortunately, I ended up in a similar relationship again. And it's like a case where you didn't learn. So the process kept repeating itself.
What was the thing? What was this flag now?
Yeah.
What was that thing? Because you said it's almost like a similar type of personality.
Yeah.
Maybe what attracted you
What
to that
attracted you?
to
Yeah.
that person?
What attracted me was male, older male, successful businessman male, with like a father, kind of like a father figure,
Yeah.
and it wasn't working. It wasn't working.
Was he emotionally or physically abusive?
This second one was emotionally abusive.
What does that mean? What is emotion? Because you say emotional abuse.
He didn't hit me.
Right.
But things that were said,
Yeah.
things that were done, and in cases where he would like take away affection because I didn't do what he wanted.
Right.
Because as much as I was in love, I was still trying to be myself.
Right.
And that did not conform to what he wanted. I was kind of rebellious.
So it was conditional.
Yes.
Then. So if you didn't do something that he wanted, what's an emotion? What was an example of something that you would say? Because people say things and you let things you brush them off because you're like, well, they've had a bad day.
And you make excuses.
Yeah.
Right.
You make excuses.
What is
his favorite one would be to tell me things like, you think you're more anybody else, but you're nobody. And then when I started studying, he would say things like, your feet not going to touch the ground now.
So he was playing on your self-confidence and self-worth.
Yeah. The thing is, he started out really well. He was everything that you would want a man to be. But then when he turned into that person, his true self, I honestly did not know how to cope. Because it's like, this is not the same person.
So you were love bombed.
And the support that I was being given, and all the niceties and everything, this can't be the same person. And funny enough, because of him, I wrote a book about my experiences with abuse. And that's one of the things that is amazing. He helped me to do this. And then he became all that he knew I did not want in a person.
Okay.
It's a case of like a person being a warrior, but because the person can fight, you shouldn't be coming to make the person fight all over again.
Right.
So that breakup was rough. And it was...
sorry to stop you there, but that breakup was rough because that was an emotional...
Exactly, the attachment. Very emotional, very emotional. But the thing about that is, I went down.
You went down.
Right down.
What does that look like? What did that look like for you?
Depression. Definite depression. Anxiety.
Yeah.
Lack of trust. Not even lack of trust. Total distrust. Altogether.
Of men or just
not
people?
Of men, of people.
Yeah.
Because when somebody say, okay, I can help you with this, you tell yourself, oh yeah, right.
Because you actually went in a situation where you came out of something that was abusive and trusted somebody.
Exactly. You
allowed
yourself.
And did the same thing to you. But differently.
Same, differently. And I can tell you guys this, emotional abuse is worse than physical. Worse than physical. Because they're messing with your mind.
Yes.
They mess with your mind. Physical abuse, you get hit, you put something on it, your pain goes away. Emotional abuse,
There's no wound to
There's
heal.
a scar that stays with you no matter how long you try, no matter how long somebody else will try to help you. The only person that can help you deal with that is yourself. And even to this day, there are still certain things that will trigger you if you're not careful. What I had to teach myself is to know
What your triggers were.
what I'm feeling, know my triggers, and know what I am feeling at that time, so I wouldn't. But the worst part of it is when you don't trust again.
Yeah.
It becomes rough. And then when you do decide to trust, you're trusting, but still you're not sure if you should trust this person. And then you could be in a relationship where somebody actually loves you, but because you have this wall up against everybody, sometimes you don't realize it, and you can lose a good person.
Yeah. Yeah.
That way.
Because you put the boundaries in place because you just aren't, you don't trust yourself.
Exactly.
To make the decision about trusting somebody else.
Right. And even if you think you trust them, I mean, honestly, you're going to tell yourself, you sure this is what you really want to get into?
Yeah.
You know, so it is it's a strange cycle. It's a strange place to be, because it's like if you're fighting with yourself.
So how did you break that cycle? Because one of the things you recognize maybe that these are two different men, but they had similar behaviors.
Yeah.
How did you break the cycle for yourself?
I took a break.
Took a break.
I took a break from dating. I even stopped going out with others. Not even with girlfriends. Like 3 years. Not even girlfriends I went out with. I just stayed, for lack of better words, in my cocoon.
Yeah.
You know? And I would pray a lot, because at one point in time, depression had me to the point I thought I was losing my mind. You know? My self-worth was non-existent. Self-esteem was not there for sure. And I had to spend a lot of time with myself, talking with myself, praying a lot. And then I started doing things that I didn't even know at the time were things that would help. Get up, go on adventures, catch a bus, go to the beach, just relax.
All by yourself?
All by myself. I started writing my feelings, not knowing there was an actual name for it.
Journaling.
You know?
And you are a fantastic writer.
Thank you. But the thing is, I started doing these things, started feeling better. By that time, I still wasn't comfortable to talk to somebody. Then when I got comfortable, I went to a therapist. And in the end of it all, she was just focusing on, but why are you choosing the same sort of men all the time? So I am paying you to help me, and every time I come to you, you're telling me the same thing? No, I took control then of my own healing, my care. It wasn't easy.
Ooh, some good tea was spilled today. Tune in next week for part 2.